Never, ever move into a house that shows these dangerous signs. Leave immediately, before it's too late. Because some houses don't just hold furniture and memories. They trap dark currents of energy, like an invisible curse that wraps itself around everything inside. You may not see it, but you can feel it, the heavy air, the creeping unease in every corner, and the recurring nightmares that return night after night. At first, the house might seem perfect, bright, tidy, reasonably priced, but slowly, the truth begins to unfold. You start feeling drained, your children become irritable, relationships grow distant, and money slips away in mysterious ways. This isn't coincidence. This is the sign of a space engulfed by negative energy. Feng Shui has warned about this for thousands of years, and modern science now confirms that our living environment can weaken the spirit and destroy our peace of mind. Before we continue, click subscribe to protect your family from invisible dangers. And leave a comment with this positive affirmation: I choose for my family a bright, safe home filled with fresh, vibrant energy. It's no coincidence that you walk into one home and instantly feel calm, while another makes you feel heavy, uneasy, even short of breath. That's because every home emits a certain kind of energy. When that energy is positive and balanced, it flows like a gentle current that nourishes everyone inside. But when the energy becomes distorted, the house turns into an invisible trap, quietly draining your health, your luck, and your family's peace. The danger is, you often don't notice it right away. The first week might seem fine, but then your body starts to feel tired. Your sleep becomes restless. Your mood grows tense. Your children get easily upset. Work begins to fall apart, and money just keeps disappearing. You think it's life pressure, but in truth, it's your living space creating the imbalance. Feng Shui has long explained that a house is not just a structure of bricks and walls. It is an energy field that directly shapes your destiny. And now, modern science agrees. Light, airflow, greenery, humidity, and design all affect your hormones, your immune system, and your emotional state. When those elements lose balance, your home stops being a sanctuary and becomes an energy trap that's hard to escape. Now it's time to uncover the warning signs that, if ignored, could cost your family their health, money, and happiness. Let's take a closer look at these signs. 1. The house is near a cemetery, an abandoned temple, a prison, or a power station. If the house you plan to buy or rent is located near a cemetery, an abandoned temple, a prison, or a large power station, that's a serious red flag. In Feng Shui, these places are believed to emit heavy yin energy, cold, dark, stagnant vibrations. When a house is too close to such sites, it easily absorbs that negative energy, making life inside feel heavy and tense, while luck and harmony quietly slip away. A cemetery symbolizes loss and grief. An abandoned temple gives off an aura of desolation and loneliness. A prison carries deep despair and emotional darkness. And a power station constantly generates noise, vibration, and radiation. Living in such an environment makes people physically and mentally drained, tired, anxious, unable to sleep well. Over time, even health, work, and relationships begin to suffer. Psychology also supports this idea. Living near a cemetery or a prison creates subconscious anxiety, even if you don't consciously think about it. Meanwhile, exposure to electromagnetic fields from power stations can disturb the nervous system, leading to insomnia and long-term stress. So, even if a house seems affordable or beautifully designed, think carefully if it's near one of these places. A true home should bring safety and peace, not silent fear that lingers day after day. 2. The house lacks natural light. A house without sunlight is always a bad sign. Natural light not only brightens a space but is also a vital source of life energy. In Feng Shui, the sun represents yang energy, the force of vitality, joy, and prosperity. When a home remains dark, yang energy weakens, and yin energy takes over, creating a heavy, stagnant atmosphere. You can feel this instantly when entering a house with few windows or one blocked by tall buildings. The air feels damp and cold. People living there often feel tired, emotionally low, and more prone to sadness or insomnia. Science explains this clearly. Lack of sunlight means your body can't produce enough vitamin D, leading to a weaker immune system. Natural light also regulates serotonin, the happiness hormone, and melatonin, which governs sleep. So when a house is always dim, your health, mood, and even family relationships begin to deteriorate. A beautiful but gloomy home will quickly turn into a burden. So before making your decision, always check whether the house welcomes natural light. 3. Dead or withered trees at the front door. Take a look at your home's entrance. If the first thing you see is a dead or withered tree, that's a warning sign. In Feng Shui, the front door is the mouth of the house, the entry point for all energy flow. A thriving, green tree symbolizes growth and good fortune, but a lifeless tree quietly signals decline and blockage. Beyond its spiritual meaning, this image deeply affects the subconscious. Seeing a dead tree every day creates associations with loss and endings. Over time, this builds up into subtle emotional fatigue, making you feel drained, uninspired, and unmotivated. From a scientific view, a dead tree also reflects an unhealthy environment, poor soil, lack of sunlight, or polluted air. And if plants can't survive there, that environment is likely not healthy for humans either. So, a lush green tree by the door can bring vitality and prosperity. But if what stands there is lifeless and dry, it's a sign that the home's energy needs to be cleansed and renewed immediately. 4. The house has a history of an unusual death. Nothing drains the peace of a home faster than the shadow of a tragic or unexplained death. It could have been an accident, a sudden illness, or a misfortune no one wishes to remember. In Feng Shui, such events leave behind yin energy, a heavy vibration that lingers in the walls, the air, and every corner of the home. It silently creates tension and unease, turning what should be a sanctuary into a space that feels cold and oppressive. People who have lived in these homes often describe constant discomfort, restless sleep, frequent nightmares, and anxiety without reason. Children become fearful, pets behave strangely, and family members find themselves arguing over trivial things. All these are signs that the house has absorbed negative energy from its past. Science and psychology offer their own explanation. Humans are highly sensitive to their surroundings. When you know, or even suspect, that a death once occurred there, your subconscious continually triggers fear and unease. Over time, this leads to stress, depression, and the feeling that you are never truly safe in your own home. So before you choose a place to live, research its history carefully. A true home should bring peace, not carry the burdens of shadows left behind. 9. The house is built over an old well, a burial site, or disturbed ground. The ground beneath a house is just as vital as its walls or roof. If your home stands on an old well, a buried grave, or land that was once dug up or filled in, it's a serious warning. In Feng Shui, such land holds disrupted yin energy, chaotic currents that cannot flow freely. Living on that kind of ground often leads to unease, restless sleep, and persistent misfortune in health or work. Many who have experienced this say that even after rebuilding or renovating, the atmosphere remains gloomy. Children cry easily, adults feel exhausted, and minor illnesses seem to appear out of nowhere. These are signs that the soil itself is energetically unclean, and that instability seeps into the lives of everyone living there. Modern science also supports some of these ideas. Old wells often create dampness, breeding mold and mosquitoes. Land once used for burials or waste disposal can be contaminated, posing hidden risks to the respiratory system, skin, and overall well-being. A beautiful house cannot bring peace if the earth beneath it holds imbalance. Before choosing where to live, always investigate the land's history. A truly safe and harmonious home begins with a clean and stable foundation. 6. Large cracks on the main wall. No matter how beautifully decorated a house may be, one large crack on the main wall can instantly shatter the sense of safety. In Feng Shui, the main wall is more than just a structure. It's considered the spine of the house. When the spine is damaged, the home's energy field fractures, creating instability that affects every aspect of life. Families living in houses with cracked main walls often experience recurring issues: money slipping away, obstacles in career, declining health, and frequent arguments. A crack acts like an open wound. Positive energy leaks out, while negative forces find their way in. From a psychological perspective, a visible crack subconsciously triggers a sense of danger. Even if engineers confirm that the building is structurally sound, the human mind still associates the image with fragility and risk. This constant reminder fuels quiet anxiety and erodes the feeling of peace within the home. A stable house requires not only a solid foundation, but also intact, unbroken walls. So when you discover a crack on the main wall, repair it thoroughly, both physically and energetically. Once the spine of your home is restored, its protective energy returns, bringing true harmony and safety to your family. 7. The house is at the end of a T-intersection. One of the most dangerous positions for a house is being located right at the end of a T-shaped road. In Feng Shui, this position is called the poison arrow, because the flow of energy traveling along the road rushes straight toward the front door instead of dispersing gently. This creates intense pressure, exposing the home to chaotic and unstable energy. People who live in houses like this often describe feeling tired, anxious, and restless. Conflicts arise easily within the family. Work becomes unstable, finances slip away unexpectedly, and goals rarely go as planned. All of this stems from the energetic imbalance caused by the home's location. From a psychological perspective, opening your door every day and seeing a road pointing straight at you creates a subconscious sense of being targeted or watched. The human brain is wired to detect potential threats, so this image keeps the subconscious on alert, leading to hidden stress and long-term fatigue. If you can't avoid buying or renting such a house, there are ways to reduce the impact. You can build a fence, plant trees, or place a decorative screen in front of the entrance to slow and disperse the incoming energy. Hanging wind chimes or using warm, soft lighting near the door also helps to transform the energy, restoring a sense of calm. A true home should not only be beautiful and convenient, it must make you feel safe and comfortable every single day. So, think carefully before choosing a house at the end of a T-intersection. The bed is placed directly under a ceiling beam. If your bed sits directly beneath a ceiling beam, that's one of the most serious Feng Shui mistakes, as it can directly affect both your health and emotional well-being. In Feng Shui, a beam is seen as a heavy structure that presses down on the energy flow of the room. Sleeping underneath it disrupts that flow, leading to poor sleep, frequent waking, and a lingering feeling of exhaustion. This heavy energy can also create tension within relationships, causing more arguments and emotional distance. Modern psychology provides a clear explanation too. When you sleep beneath a large structure overhead, your brain unconsciously registers a sense of danger. Even if you don't realize it, your body remains in a subtle state of alertness, resulting in restless sleep, irritability, and emotional instability. To fix this, you don't need to remodel the entire room. Adding a false ceiling to cover the beam, hanging a soft curtain, or using upward-facing lighting can all reduce the oppressive feeling. These small adjustments can transform your bedroom into a truly serene space, a place for rest, recovery, and renewal. The bedroom should be the safest and most relaxing space in your home. So if your bed is placed beneath a ceiling beam, make a change soon to restore deep sleep and lasting peace. 9. The front door and back door are in a straight line. If you walk into a house and can see the back door directly from the front entrance, be careful. This is one of the most unfavorable Feng Shui designs. When the front and back doors align perfectly, good energy enters only to leave immediately, never staying long enough to nourish the family. As a result, wealth is hard to retain, important plans fall apart midway, and a sense of instability lingers among household members. Everything comes and goes too quickly: money, luck, and even peace within the family. From a psychological point of view, a space that feels too open through creates a sense of emptiness and lack of protection. People living in such homes often feel uneasy, unfocused, and unable to achieve emotional stability, even when nothing seems wrong on the surface. The remedy is simple. Place a potted plant, a small table, or a decorative screen between the two doors to slow down the flow of energy. Adding curtains, rugs, or warm lighting also helps keep the energy circulating gently, allowing vitality to settle and nourish the home. A good house doesn't just shield you from the weather, it holds and nurtures positive energy to protect the health, prosperity, and happiness of everyone inside. All these signs lead to one powerful conclusion. When a home carries distorted or unbalanced energy, it won't just tire you out, it will quietly drain your spirit, your finances, and your joy. The most frightening part is that the change doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in slowly, day after day, until one day you realize it's already too late. Never believe that bad Feng Shui is a life sentence. In truth, you can turn things around. With just a few mindful adjustments, the entire atmosphere of your home can shift. I've seen many families move from tension and arguments to harmony and joy, simply by improving the energy in their living space. And today, I'll share with you simple but powerful ways to transform a heavy, stagnant home into one filled with light, luck, and prosperity. 1. Deep cleaning. The first step you must never skip. A cluttered home is like a glass full of sediment. There's no room for fresh, clear water to flow in. If you live among piles of old clothes, scattered papers, and broken objects, positive energy will have nowhere to go. Start with the front door, the main entrance where energy enters. Keep it bright, clean, and open. Throw away old doormats and replace them with fresh, clean ones. Wipe the door every week to remove dust and stagnant energy. A clear, inviting entryway is like an open invitation for good energy to step inside. Then move through each room and ask yourself, does this item still serve me? If not, sell it, donate it, or throw it away. When you release unnecessary items, you're not just clearing space, you're releasing old energy and welcoming renewal. 2. Bring in natural light and fresh air. Light is the vitamin of a home. A dark room drags down your mood and builds stress. So each morning, open your curtains, open your windows, and let the sunlight pour in. If your home has few windows, use mirrors to amplify the light. Place a mirror across from a window to double the brightness. If that's not possible, install warm yellow lights instead of harsh white ones. Yellow light feels natural, cozy, and comforting, like the glow of morning sun. And don't forget air. Every day, open your doors or windows for at least 15-20 minutes to let the natural breeze circulate. It sweeps away stale air, dust, and heavy feelings. This is the simplest and most powerful way to reset the energy of your home. 3. Green plants, bringing life back to your space. If sunlight is the vitamin, then plants are the lungs of your home. A few healthy pots of greenery can completely transform the feeling of a room. Snake plant absorbs toxins and symbolizes protection. Peace lily purifies the air and brings emotional calm. Lucky bamboo represents growth, abundance, and prosperity. Place plants near the main entrance, the balcony, or the living room. But remember, a dying or withered plant carries negative energy. If one starts to fade, replace it immediately. A thriving plant doesn't just clean the air, it reminds you that growth always requires care and attention. 4. Balance yin and yang in every corner. A house that's too dark and too quiet is ruled by heavy yin energy. A house that's too bright and cold carries excessive yang energy. The secret is harmony, balance between the two. Combine warm yellow lights with natural daylight. Hang metal wind chimes or play soft music to break up silence. Use rugs, curtains, and cushions to soften sharp corners and hard edges. When yin and yang are in balance, energy flows smoothly. The home feels safe, comforting, and emotionally connected, the kind of space where love naturally grows. 5. Feng Shui objects, small but powerful. You don't need a lot of items. Just a few placed in the right spots can make a big difference. Wind chimes. Hang near the entrance to disperse negative energy. Clear quartz crystal. Place in the living room to enhance clarity and luck. Mudogodo. Hang in the bedroom for health protection. Water elements. A bowl of clean water, a small fish tank, or a mini waterfall. All symbolize wealth flowing continuously into the home. These items are not just beautiful decorations. They're powerful symbols that balance and shield your living space, turning your home into a sanctuary of peace, abundance, and light. 6. Refresh the bedroom, the heart of renewal. Your bedroom is where you recharge after each day. If the energy in your bedroom is poor, You'll never truly rest, no matter how long you sleep. Never place your bed directly under a ceiling beam. It creates invisible pressure. Avoid having a mirror facing the bed. It disturbs the subconscious and disrupts your sense of peace. Keep the room neat, uncluttered, and softly lit to create a soothing atmosphere. A deep, restful sleep is the foundation that allows positive energy to enter your life the next morning. 7. Daily habits, the true source of energy. A house doesn't just hold furniture, it holds emotions. If you constantly argue within its walls, that energy will linger. But if you fill it with laughter, music, and joy, the home itself will begin to glow with warmth. Make these habits part of your life. When you step inside, smile and say a positive affirmation. Each morning, open the windows, play soft music, or light a scented candle. When you cook or clean, do it with love, because you're nurturing your family's soul. Feng Shui isn't just about arranging objects, it's about the intention behind every action. When you place a plant, think of it as bringing life. When you hang a wind chime, believe it's clearing away negativity. When you clean your space, know that you're opening the path for luck to enter. It's your faith and intention that turn small gestures into powerful transformation. You see, a home with bad energy isn't the end, it's simply a challenge. And you can turn that challenge into your strength. When you change the light, bring nature inside, balance yin and yang, use meaningful feng shui symbols, and cultivate positive habits, you're not just rewriting the story of your home, you're rewriting the story of your life. When you leave your home each morning and return each evening, what truly matters isn't just having a roof over your head. It's whether the energy inside your home is lifting you up or quietly draining you. A home can be a place of healing, but if ignored, it can also slowly take away your health, your peace, and your good fortune. Change doesn't have to be complicated. A bright, tidy space filled with plants, sunlight, and laughter is already enough to shift everything. Remember, every small action you take today shapes a better, more harmonious tomorrow. Before we end, leave a positive affirmation in the comments. I choose to create a home filled with light, love, and prosperity. And don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe so we can continue this journey together, discovering more feng shui and energy secrets to help you live a life that's happier, healthier, and more abundant.